We're at Wildwood Park where tonight the A's host longtime rival Howards Grove. Hello everybody, alongside Lucas Schulze, I'm Mike Martin. We're going to be bringing you tonight's game. Lucas, Sheboygan comes in 2-0 on the season. In this series of games, they are 46-11 against Howards Grove. They've pretty much dominated play. And I can remember in my playing days being with Howards Grove, and we lost 2 of those games to Sheboygan. But we talked about this Saturday in the doubleheader. This is kind of a get back at Howards Grove game.
Most definitely.
Why is that?
Well, last year, first game of the season, play ball tournament, Sheboygan up 3, last inning, walk-off home run by Cooper Gussie, the former A, so it hurt even more. And it was a grand slam. So the A's looking to get their revenge this time with one of their best pitchers, Jared Reklitis, on the mound.
Another former A that plays with the River Dogs is Zach Kane. Zach's dad, Butch. Don't see him in the park, but he's a big baseball guy. Coached at Plymouth High School and played for Plymouth when he was in high school for many times. Lineup for Howards Grove is full of Damrows. Leading off is Cooper Damrow. Batting second is Zach Kane. Batting third is Eric Reineman. Batting fourth, Derek Schiller. Batting fifth, Cooper Gussie. Batting sixth, Kyle Damrow. Batting seventh, Drew Damrow. Batting seventh, Jack Schrader. And batting ninth, Jack Heim. And we had an intern a couple years ago, Charlie Heim. I wonder if that's his brother. Defensively for Sheboygan, they have Jurgensen at first. Lesnick at second. Ryan Lesnick made a big impression on us in that doubleheader. Jacob Neese is at third. Riley Palmquist is at short. We got Alex Ames, Gus Walker, and Chase Hanselman in the outfield, left to right. Jared Reklitis is on the hill, and Cal Casper making another start.
You had mentioned to me earlier that Reklitis, they didn't really know how long he was going to go, but it for sure wouldn't be the whole game.
Right. I think when I talked to Tim before the game, he said look for a lot of substitutions in the fourth inning. So maybe it's 4 for Jared and 3 for Schmitty. Eric Schmitz will be the relief pitcher tonight. Pop up by Gussie is caught in foul ground by Neese. Howards comes in. They're 2-0. Both of their wins coming in league play. They play in the East in the Shoreland League. And they beat St. Peter, who won last year's championship 8-0, and then they beat Johnsburg in a real high scoring affair. It was like a football score, 17-14. So they can hit the ball, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see how they do against Jared tonight.
Zach Kane is up to hit for the River Dogs. Peyton Kelling is our home plate umpire. He did a fine job in the first game on Saturday. And an interesting umpire for the bases, Chris Sisler. Chris is a baseball guy too. He's actually the manager for the Manitowoc Bandits. So if we'd have played last night, we could have seen him that night and then seen him again tonight umpiring.
Yeah, you don't see it very often go from umpiring to managing.
Kane broke the bat, hit a simple grounder over to Jared, who threw him out at first. So quick 1-2 for Jared Reklitis, and that brings up Eric Reineman. We don't have any stats, by the way, on Howard, so we can't give you any batting averages or any of that type of information. Heineman with a swing and a miss.
I don't want to jinx anything here, Marty, but the last 8 innings of baseball for the A's have flown by defensively. They've been amazing defensively on all parts. And there it is.
There's a line drive base hit to right. Nice going, Lucas.
I don't want to jinx anything.
Derek Sheeler, the DH, is up next. Now, I did get some information on Howard's Grove today from Game Changer, and they mentioned Gage Hilbelink, and didn't give at bats or anything, but his OPS is 1,300,
Oh my
which
goodness.
is outstanding. And he's not up there taking pitches. He ripping at that first fastball, fouled it straight back.
Makes sense. He's sitting in the middle of the order for
Yeah,
those kind
exactly.
of stats.
Breaking pitch by Jared. Sheeler misses that one. Cooper Gussie waiting on deck. Strike three called, strike three right on the outside corner. Great pitch by Reclitus. And that ends the Howard's Grove first. When we come back, it'll be Ames, Hanselman, and Stelt batting for.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more. Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Getting ready to start the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Alex Ames leading off, playing center field. The pitcher for tonight for Howard's is John Day. Defensively for the Grovers, they have Zach Kane at first, Jake Heim at second. Over at third base is Cooper Damrow. Playing short is Eric Reineman. In the outfield from left to right, they have Jack Schrader, Kyle Damrow in center, and Cooper Gussie in right. Catching is Drew Damrow. Day's first pitch is outside.
Ames, one of the few A's that didn't play in either of the doubleheader games last year. I'd kind of assume he probably wasn't at the ballpark on Saturday, but
That's what I would assume. There's a pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
played a little bit last year at 213 throughout 36 games.
Do you have the stats for this year too? Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not hoarding things from you. That ball evens a count at 2-2.
Weird thing about Alex Ames, he hit 213, but his on-base percentage was 414.
Wow. Liner, base hit to right. Good piece of hitting by Alex.
Yeah, starts off this year hitting 1,000.
That was pretty nice Took that pitch right where it was pitched, outside, and took it to right. That brings up Chase Hanselman. Hanselman had a good start to his season. He's currently hitting .667. Let's see him keep that up.
With 3 extra base hits too, 2 doubles and a triple.
That second game double was huge. It gave us the lead. And then Jimmy's 3-run homer put it away. Sheboygan won the doubleheader 2-1 and 9-4 in game 2. Day comes set. Not a big lead over at first by Ames. That pitch gets by the catcher. Damrow. Pass ball puts Ames on second. Count is 1-1. Now I thought coming into tonight, some of the information looking at the website that they did have, which is not current, I thought Howard's Grove would have more than one Sheboygan player.
Yeah.
They only got Tyler Chesso, who played for North, on their roster. A lot of Howard's Grove and several Plymouth guys. Hanselman pops it up in foul territory. Kane has a beat on it and able to reach over the fence and make the catch.
It looked like he was going to have plenty of room originally, and then just kept trailing, and then he ended up having to reach over the wall and make a great catch.
Brings up Harry Stelt. Harry also had a great start to the season. Comes in hitting an even .400. How about that?
Yeah, this middle of the order has been dominant for the A's with Neese, Stelt, Hanselman, and Jurgensen.
Ames doing a lot of jumping around at second base. Harry takes the first pitch for a strike. Looks like Heim, the second baseman, is responsible for keeping him close. There's a liner to right field deep. It's in foul territory. Good effort made out there by Cooper Gussie, but just couldn't quite get there. You don't see Harry go to right a whole lot,
No,
though.
you don't see him take opposite field, but hey, the more of that, the more defense has to think about playing him straight up.
I think on this pitch, Alex better be careful at second base. I wouldn't be surprised if they put on some kind of a pickoff play.
I'm surprised he hasn't thrown over there yet. He's been way off the bag, and second baseman Heim, you were saying, he's been close to second base.
Reineman sneaking in behind a little bit. Pitch is inside.
I think if Day wants to throw over there, he's got a really good chance of getting him out at second base.
Actually, the pitch before this, I thought that would have been the time
Yeah.
for Ames to go. Christ, almost a third of the way to third base. This little roller out to second. Heim has it and throws it over to Kane for the out. On the play, Ames moves to third. So with 2 outs, it's up to Jimmy Jurgensen. Get him home.
First baseman, number 32, Jimmy Jurgensen.
Jurgensen's already got 3 RBIs on the year, and that was from one swing of the bat on that home run that he had to right center field in game 1.
Jimmy rips a shot to right field. Gussie over and makes a catch. Oh my.
Goodness.
He had to reach back over his head to catch it. He actually overran it a little bit, but well of a nice play out in right field by Cooper Gussie, and that ends Sheboygan's first with no score.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give, that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legend.
Cooper Gussie takes that first pitch a little bit inside. Cooper made an outstanding play out in right field. If he doesn't get that, a run scores. But made a great play, and as happens so often in baseball, you make a great defensive play and you come up the bat right away.
All the confidence, momentum's on your side.
Another pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Rockalitis looks very good out there tonight. Looked very good on Saturday too. Slow roller out to Lesnick. Makes the easy play. That brings up Kyle Damrow.
Yeah, Recolleti's doing what he does best, pound the strike zone, not giving batter a lot of time to think and make them make a play.
Howard's has very patriotic uniforms, Lucas.
I like them too. I like the way the number kind of like fades, the red, the blue.
Yeah. You know what I hated announcing? Lutheran KLC
Yeah,
football.
those are the
Oh,
worst.
those old uniforms. Even the guy that was the field announcer from one of the schools couldn't tell who was carrying the ball and making tackles and catching passes.
Yeah, those jerseys were awful. They got new ones this year though.
I noticed that. We did a game out there.
A little bit easier.
1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. Breaking ball right there. Called strike 3. On Saturday, Jared had 2 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work. Only gave up 1 hit, no runs. Eric Schmitz is scheduled to be the relief pitcher. He'll come after Jared.
Pretty good pitching staff tonight. Eric Schmitz being the reliever. You don't see that very
that's,
often.
one of the big 3. And little tapper out to Rec. And a good play over to first for the 3rd out. A quick 1-2-3 for the Grovers. Now it's going to be Sheboygan trying to put something on the board. Jacob Niesel.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me spells the great taste of Sheboygan. What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef, it's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot. Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
John Day wrapping up his warm-up tosses between innings. Jacob Neese lead off Sheboygan's second inning.
Leading off the bottom half of the second inning for the A's, it's the third baseman, number 17, Jacob Neese.
Get a full crew of interns for this year, and give a shout out to them. Lucas Schulze, of course, is with me up here, is our broadcast intern. Hunter Rosh attends Lakeland College. Emma Kroll goes to school at UWM. She's actually knows Emma Loading, last year's broadcast intern. And then our fourth intern is Maddie Albanese. I haven't seen Maddie at the park yet. Neese takes a 4-pitch walk. Good start for Sheboygan. Cal Casper's up next.
Casper started the second game of the doubleheader and went 0 for 2, but he's pretty good arm back there as catcher though.
What really impressed me in that game Saturday was a ball popped out of his mitt to the right side of home plate, and he got over there really quickly and made an awesome throw to third and got the runner trying to advance by a lot. So something you don't see all the time with catchers, their athleticism, but we saw it on that play from Cal. The key here, or I shouldn't say right now, but for Cal this season is he's got to be able to hit a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, like we mentioned last week, whole new catching staff for the A's. They lost everyone and got 4 new ones. So.
Right. And Wytek looked pretty good behind the home plate and got a hit. Pop up into short right. Heim drifting back and makes the one-handed grab. Ty Wytek is that catcher we talked about. Wytek actually leads the team in hitting.
Yeah, that one double, yeah.
Hitting 1,000.
Palmquist, he hit the ball hard a couple times over the weekend, but nothing to show for it still without a hit this year.
Nisa jumped to a pretty good lead at first, but didn't go to see if Tim has him moving at all. A little hit and run going. Ball falls straight back. Evens the count at 1-1. In about the fourth inning, we'll do our Hall of Fame trivia question for this game.
Right in the midst of all the subs.
Yeah, right, as if we don't have enough to do. Maybe we'll do it in the third then. In talking to Tim Moyer before the game, he said there's going to be a lot of substitutes in the fourth inning. There's a Another foul. CJ Johnny on the spot with that foul ball, getting the audio out to the crowd. 1 and 2. Nice on the move. That ball is fouled off. Boy, it almost looked like it hit Riley.
Figure there had to be some kind of hit and run situation. Looked like he was just trying to make contact, no matter where it was.
A lot of names to look through. Nice not going. Pitches outside. Evens count at 2 and 2. Last year, Palmquist hit 360, but again, like Lucas mentioned on Saturday, he didn't play a lot. He was injured early in the year. Throw bounces in, and Jacob Nice is in at second base with a stolen base. He had a great jump on that foul ball Riley hit, and he had a great jump on this pitch. It came in for a ball.
Yeah, thrower wasn't really close to getting him, so maybe that was some kind of intel they had. You know, knowing Nice has decent speed, maybe get him in scoring position for a decent hitter in Riley Palmquist.
That pitch gets by Damro again, and Nice moves up to third, and on that pitch, Riley drew a walk. So Sheboygan has runners on first and third, only one out, and Ryan Lesnick up.
Yeah, 2 walks for the guy who walks the most now, Ryan Lesnick. 3 walks over the weekend. See if he gets another one here, or maybe a base hit.
He made an impression on me. I think he did you too, Lucas,
Yes.
with his play, not just drawing the walks, but also the way he played defense.
Yep, 5 at-bats and 3 walks.
Pitch is high and outside. John Day running into a little trouble this inning. Most of it his own fault.
Not a ball's been put in play yet.
Yeah, Casper popped out to second.
That's right, yeah.
But who's counting?
Yeah, I don't care.
How'd you guys do tonight, by the way?
I lost 4-0.
1-0.
4-4.
4-0. Holy cow! Tight game.
We've had worse.
Lucas plays for Sheboygan Lutheran's baseball team. Mike Muth still your coach?
Yeah.
He's been there for a long time.
99.
Good guy. 3-0. And that pitch is high for a ball. Another walk, third walk in the inning. Gus Walker's coming up to bat. Now Gus has been leading off all last year and in the doubleheader on Saturday, but today he's batting in the 9th spot. And when we go back about 4 years ago, Lucas remember too when we were talking about it, he really stung the ball batting in the 9th spot.
Yeah, he hit 391 just a couple of years ago in that 9th spot, and then you said they moved him up to 1, and he still hit.
Yeah, he still hit. The last couple of years have been a little bit of a struggle. Hopefully Gus can get her going right here. Bases loaded, 1 out, no score. We're in the bottom of the second.
I think you got to be taken away on this first pitch. Yeah, Day's been struggling with the command all inning, 3 walks already, and just the pop-ups. The only ball that's been hit in the air, in the field.
No action in the Howards Grove bullpen either. That pitch is in there for a strike.
Unlike Kewaskum, they got guys that they could possibly put in the bullpen.
Right, yeah, I was thinking they came over with a few extra players. Yes, I'll follow that one. Off to the right, off to the left side, pardon me. A pretty nice crowd for a cold Thursday night. Howard's Grove brought a pretty nice group over. It's nice to see. Gus takes that pitch inside. Evens the count at 2-2.
Should call this the Marty game. The battle of the teams you played on.
Yeah, right, right. I remember the 2 losses when I was playing with Howard's, but I don't remember the games against Howard's when I was playing with Sheboygan.
I just knew you beat them.
Given the overtime, the all-time record, you know, you'd think we'd have won a couple of those. I played with Sheboygan for 6 years. The ball gets by Damero, and it's ball 4, so it doesn't matter. But a run is in for Sheboygan, and Day is really struggling out there.
It's not like he was facing the top of the order guys who normally are doing the damage. It was 5 through 9, and he walked 4 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Meeting at the mound.
I'm sure the Howard's Grove has people they can pull in the bullpen, but I'm sure they don't want to go to him in the second inning.
They have a league game on Sunday against Cleveland, which again, that's a big rivalry game. You know, being the communities being so close together and playing in the same league over the years. I mean, right now they're in the East Shore League, or Shoreland League. No, East Shore League. You get that right, because there is a Shoreland League and an East Shore League, and they're different. But anyway, so that'll be a big rivalry game, and they'll want to have their best pitcher ready for that game.
Sure.
Which is to Sheboygan's benefit.
Yeah, Sheboygan, even though it's an exhibition game, they're still going with one of their best pitchers. Now they don't have a game for another week yet, but still. Different situation.
Back to the top of the order, Alex Ames is up. Ames singled to right. Day gets ahead on the count with a strike.
It's got to be the first time he's been ahead in this inning.
This inning, for sure. Pitch is popped up and fouled. It makes it no balls and 2 strikes. Sheboygan on top, 1-0. Bases loaded, only 1 out. Chase Hanselman waiting on deck.
Yeah, there's a guy you want up at the plate with people on base.
Big breaking ball stays up high and inside. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch looked pretty good.
Ames the only hit so far for the A's, even though they have the bases loaded right now.
Peyton Kelling didn't like it and called it a ball. It's 2-2. Pitch is called. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Good pitch by Day. Ames not happy, but looked pretty good from up here. Chase Hanselman is up. Chase hit that foul ball that Zach Kane reached over the fence to catch. That was a good play.
A couple of good plays in that first inning with Gussie as well, right?
A web gem.
Yeah.
2 of them.
It's really a matter of how aggressive does Day want to be with Hanselman. Obviously, you want to throw strikes, but you don't want to just give him a pitch to hit, especially with the bases loaded.
Yeah, right. Still got to be careful. Pitch is called a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Infield is deep at all 4 positions. Pitch is up high. Harry's waiting on deck. He'd love to get the bat with runners on.
Or with the bases clear
Yeah.
in this
either way.
inning.
Good pitch on the outside corner, breaking ball. Hanselman not able to handle. 2-2. 2 outs. And Chase hanging in there, foul that ball off. Sheboygan's next game will be on Saturday when they play a doubleheader against the Chicago Warriors.
Next Saturday.
Not this Saturday, we get the weekend off. Well, you don't. I heard you're making the food for Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
That ball is straight back. Harry doing some good hustling down there, getting that foul ball. That's, you know how fast he's running right there? That's about how fast he ran when he stole that base on Saturday.
Yeah.
2-2. Hanselman again hanging in there, fouling it back.
About 25 pitches at least in this inning.
Palmquist at third, Lesnick at second, and Walker on at first. And pitches outside, full count. Tim telling the boys, if he hits the ball, got to run fast. There are 2 outs.
Everyone's going to be going on this pitch, full count, 2 outs.
Walker should be able to get a huge jump at first. There's a ball hit out to right field, but it's foul and out of play. Well, Hanselman has had Harry running after foul balls a couple times, and now he's making those 3 guys on the bases run on another foul ball. They're not going to be very happy with Chase.
And he's back to the dugout, especially if he doesn't get on base here. Couple.
Yeah. Let's get some runs.
Yeah. Hit a gapper here.
And that ball is up high. Another run for Sheboygan on a bases loaded walk.
Walk number 5 of the inning for Day. Still no hits in the inning, but 2 runs.
Again, nobody warming up in Howard's Grove's bullpen. It's, there is some stirring by the dugout amongst the coaching staff. Harry's up.
And especially one of the best walk getters in Sheboygan's lineup right now.
You know, every year that I've been doing this, and Harry, of course, is playing all those years, plus a bunch more, he's always been a great on-base batter.
Yeah, especially with arms swipes, it should feel like it just goes up for him.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa. Pitch inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. John Day working hard out there. Really ran into trouble with his control this inning. Looked good in the first inning. Another pitch up high. 3-1.
It doesn't help. The A's are probably almost auto-taking at this point, not going to swing at any pitches just off the edge.
Harry with a big swing and a miss. Base runners will be on the move again with a 3-2 count. Pitch is up high, ball 4.
Six of them.
And another run and another RBI. And that's going to be it for Day.
Kind of had to figure it was coming soon. He
Yeah,
walked 6
Coach
batters in
Reineman
an inning.
comes out this time to make the change. It's a 7-inning game tonight.
With the possibility.
That's right. We can't. Number 11.
41.
Number 1. Ryan Splitgerber.
During our game here this evening, so be sure to flag him down and get your 50-50 raffle tickets. We forgot to mention in the pregame, with tonight's game being a non-league game, tonight's game will only be 7 innings in length, not the traditional 9 innings. Tonight's game will only be 7 innings in length.
CJ just announcing it's only going to be a 7-inning game. I just saw 5 people walk out. They want to get their money back. Oh, CJ, you had announced between innings that go down and buy a program. They're $2. When I was playing, we would sell season tickets for $1. Yeah, that's for sure. Let's see, 68 to now would be what, how many years? 50 some?
32, 57.
Ryan Splitgerber on the mound. Jim Splitgerber, I'm not sure if they're any relation, but Jim Splitgerber was a real good pitcher for the A's back in the day. Good guy too. Went to South High.
Fun fact about this inning, Marty, still no hits. The only ball in play has been the Cal Casper.
That's right.
First baseman, number 32, Jimmy.
6 walks so far in the inning. Jimmy Jurgensen up with 2 outs. Sheboygan has scored 3 runs so far. Jimmy not waiting around, had a good rip at that one.
Trying to make it 7-0.
Gussie playing straight away and deep in right field. Good change of pace that time by Splitgerber. Jimmy was way out in front. No balls and 2 strikes. Jimmy, the 9th hitter of the inning. That pitch is a ball. Gus is over at third base. At second is Chase Hanselman, and Harry's on at first. Jimmy hanging in there.
A's can get a couple more runs here. That run rule might be within reach in the 5th.
It could be. Plus, you know what happened last year. We had we have a 3-run lead, and Gussie hit that, or wasn't it a grand slam?
Grand
right?
slam. Yeah.
So we wound up losing the game. Can never have enough. Count is 2-2.
Especially you don't know what the lineup's gonna be looking like in the 4th on.
Jimmy, good take on that pitch. It was low. Kelling checking with Sisler if he swung, and base umpire says no, he did not. So we have another 3-2 count. How many of those have we had this inning?
At least 4.
Line drive, pass, Kane down into the corner. That'll score 3. They're going to hold Harry at third. And Jimmy with a late slide, but slides into second safe with a 2-run double.
I thought that was foul originally, but what a great job keeping it fair down the line from Jurgensen to bring in another 2 runs. The A's officially batted around now in the second inning on just 1 hit.
The bases loaded double. That was a big one. Now, if we'd had Gus on first,
different story maybe.
we might have had 3 runs. Jacob Neese. Jacob walked and scored. Also picked up a stolen base. Pitch is in for a strike. His 2 at bats. Jimmy has hit the ball very hard.
Strong pull hit too, both of them.
Yes.
Both down the line.
Yeah, good point. That homer that he hit on Saturday was just to the left of the scoreboard. Can't see it on that shot, so that was more like straightaway right. But tonight, 2 balls pulled.
You were mentioning Harry, you were surprised he went up to the I'd be surprised.
Yeah, really. Somebody wake up the left fielder.
Yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Jacob looking to keep the inning going. And a swing and a miss. Split Gerber able to work out of it. But with 1 hit in the inning, Sheboygan comes up with 5 runs.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
Recolite is still on the mound for Sheboygan. Got a 5-run lead to work with. So important to throw strikes. And Day did it in the first inning, but he totally lost it in the second.
It just shows how quickly your command can go from inning to inning.
Leading off the inning for Howard's Grove is going to be Jack Schrader.
Anytime about throwing strikes, it's something Recolaitis excels at. Just pounding the zone.
Yeah. Recolaitis will face 8, 9, and 1. Pitch is right on the outside corner for a strike. Boy, he's loved that outside corner tonight.
It's tacked it till someone makes him pay for it.
Schrader can't catch up with that fastball. We mentioned coming in, Lucas, that in their 2 league games, Howard's Grove has scored strikeout swinging by Schrader. Recolaitis with his 3rd tonight. That they scored 25 runs in 2 league games.
It's crazy. That's a whole different beast when you see some of these guys.
I umpired quite a few games in the East Shore League, and within their league structure, they're very competitive. A lot of good games, but when they step out of that arena and play teams like Sheboygan, it's really tough. Neese with a nice play over to Jurgensen, and for all the time it took finish the bottom of the second. We're catching up with Recolletius on the mound. Making up some of that time. Cooper Damrow up. Cooper popped up to Jacob Neeson foul territory his first time. Jared has only given up a hit, no walks. He's been very effective, very efficient. And
a lot of swing and miss.
yeah, good fastball.
Yeah. He hasn't really needed to use too much else other than that fastball in the outside corner like you mentioned earlier.
A little too hard that time. Count is even at 2-2. Sheboygan on top, 5-0. Maybe we spoke too soon.
Yeah.
3-2.
Seems to be the theme of this year so far.
We got to get our act together. Oh, Recolletius thought he had it. He was walking off the mound, and Kelling said, no way. It was outside.
Kelling's loved the walk today.
It was close. Zach Kane is up. We had mentioned Zach played a season or two with Sheboygan. He's a good hitter. His first time up, he broke his bat, hit a little roller to Jared, who threw him out at first. Played his college ball at Upper Iowa.
Hefty swing there.
Nice getting those little tidbits from the other side of the room. Played his high school ball at Plymouth High School under his dad. Pitches up high. Damrow was on the move. He'll get credit with a stolen base. Count to Zach Kane is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a breaking pitch is in there for a called strike 3. Recolletius has 4 strikeouts in the game. Lucas, 3 of them are called strikes.
Pitching that outside corner like you said.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract, brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow, raised by generations willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
Back here at Wildwood Park, Ryan Splitgerber finishing up his warm-up throws. Leading off the inning for the A's will be Cal Casper. We're going to do our quiz question.
Yeah, before
Lucas.
everything changes.
Yeah. Casper popped up his first time. Takes that pitch outside. The question is, you guys paying attention down there? This Hall of Fame player was an outstanding javelin thrower on the track team at UW La Crosse. Who is the A's Hall of Famer?
Did you know that before you made the question?
Yeah.
Okay. I know
He's
if you.
a pretty good friend. He's my neighbor, actually. Line drive, base hit right down the left field line. Casper racing around first. He's going to dig for second. Let's see if he gets there. He does. Whoa, we mentioned, or I did, that he's quite an athlete. He's got great speed.
I look
Casper
like
with a double.
That's a hustle double, as they would say. Not even.
Exactly.
I'm sure the left fielder had no intention that he was going to go to second base, but great job by Casper making it in time.
Casper, no, his batting average. He was 0 for 2 coming in. He's 1 for 4
2 for
in
50.
his A's career with a double.
Three.
3 hits so far. Alex Ames got a leadoff hit in the first, and then Jimmy with his double in the second, and now Cal Casper with a double in the third.
Palmquist is part of the walk parade in the second inning.
Damrow, no urgency picking up the ball that was in the dirt, and it allowed Cal Casper, who's hustling all the time out there, to advance to third. Drew Damrow, the catcher, is having a tough night. Splitty got that ball right down the middle, and all Palmquist could do is foul it back right off of Damrow.
Took a huge hack at that one. His eyes probably lit up where he saw that pitch location.
Yeah, right. Line drive right over the head of the third baseman, Cooper Damrow, and Sheboygan with another run. Palmquist with a solid base hit to left.
Maybe this inning will be the hit parade instead of the walk parade.
Yeah, that'd be even more fun. Ryan Lesnick walked and scored back in the second.
No surprise.
Second baseman, number 24, Ryan Lesnick.
Watching the umpire positioning. It's not how I would be set up if I was...
Gotta give him some tips, get back out there.
Yeah, well, usually with a man on first, you want that base umpire on the other side of second base, the first base side, so you're in a little better position to call pickoff plays at first. I'm just saying that's when I umpired, that's almost 10 years ago now.
Do you miss it at all?
Nope. I enjoyed umping all the way through to my last year. What I didn't enjoy the last couple of years was just having to get up and leave the house.
Yeah.
Once I got on the field and was doing it, it was quite enjoyable.
Do a lot of tournaments on the weekends and stuff?
Not too much.
No?
No. There's a little pop-up into right field. Right fielder got a bad break on it, but hung up for him. And making a catch out there was Jack Schrader. And that brings up Gus Walker.
Kind of like the top of the order now. You like 9 spots, basically the
yeah,
one. now.
right, exactly. Good way to look at it. Sure, Gus would rather get a hit than a walk, even with that RBI. All in the dirt. Damero not able to handle that, understandably so.
Kind of what you mentioned earlier, the A's looking for revenge from their last time playing this team. And so far, it's going the A's way. Not, hopefully it stays that way, but
You'd like to think with Reklitis and Schmidt on the mound for the A's, it will stay that way. Another wild pitch by Split Gerber. Well, I've got, let's see, 1, 2 pass balls and 2 wild pitches.
yeah,
That's not good baseball by the River Dogs.
it's been a rough night for Split Gerber and Day.
Gus with a swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Palmquist over at third base after hitting that RBI single. And Gus hanging in there, foul that one off.
Even the at-bats that have ended in outs today have been really long at-bats, fouling off a lot of pitches, staying alive. It's been really tough for these Howard's Grove pitchers to get outs.
And with those long at-bats and hanging in there, caused a lot of walks to happen. Split Gerber able to track it, get the out at first, and hold the runner at third. Alex Ames is up.
Now the actual top of the order.
Yeah, right, the real top of the order. Alex is 1 for 2 in the ball game. One of the 4 Sheboygan hits. Ooh, that ball hit him.
Ready his third at bat in 3 innings. Same thing for Hanselman now.
What do you think Chase did his last time, Pat Lucas?
If I had to take a guess, I'd say he walked.
He walked and drove in a run.
That was a really good at bat too. He fouled off a ton of pitches, stayed alive.
First and third, 2 outs. First pitch going, and the pitch is fouled off. Ames had that base stolen, but when it's a fat pitch like that, you got to swing at it. Harry hustling again. Chase making him work.
You'd have to assume that Ames will be going again on this pitch. Really no chance for a throwdown.
He is going. Pitch is taken. Throw is late.
Got him. Fell off the bag. I assume he stepped off the bag.
I don't know if we give him a stolen base or just have it a 2-4 putout. You didn't see if he called him safe, did you?
No, he called him out right away. I don't know.
Right. Caught stealing.
Estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. Thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Hanselman is in.
I think it's Ames. It's Ames.
Alex Ames still out there? Like we've said before, you know, sometimes we give the trivia question answers when we tell, and sometimes we're late, and this game we're right on time. Top of the fourth inning. The question was, this Hall of Famer was an outstanding javelin thrower on the track team at UW La Crosse. Who was that Hall of Fame A's player? Rick Rice. Great football player at North. Had some migraine headache issues, didn't play in college, but did throw the javelin on the track team when that was still an event. And actually, I think for his last year for sure, he did pitch on the baseball team. So, good athlete, won letters in track and baseball. Light still on the mound, facing Eric Reineman. Reineman has Howard's Grove's only hit. Ball up the middle, Lesnick makes the play, but can't get Reineman. Give him another hit.
Would have been a spectacular play. Lesnick made it right up the middle and then fade to his left. Fade to his right, excuse me.
Going to bring up Derek Schiller. Right back to Recolytis. He goes to second for one, and the relay to first is in time. 1-6-3 double play.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he had one of those in game one of the doubleheader.
He did.
In one of those
You're right.
1-6-3s.
Good memory.
Thank you.
That's going to bring up Cooper Gussie. Gussie ground. Just when you think you have something going, you get into a double play.
Especially right at the pitcher, you know, could have gone up the middle.
Yeah. What was really nice about that play, in my opinion, is when Recolytis got it, he threw a BB over to second base, and he expected his fielder to be there, and of course Palmquist was.
A lot of times you see those pitchers panic with those throws and overshoot second baseman, but not Recolytis.
That's part of why he's such a good player. Call, strike three on a breaking pitch. Gussie down after 3.5 innings of play. Sheboygan up 6-0.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
We're back here at Wildwood Park getting ready to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Howards Grove has a new pitcher. We're trying to determine who that is. Ryan Splitgerber went an inning and a third. He allowed only 1 run. He did strike out a batter, didn't record any walks, and gave up 3 hits. Based on our, if it was double digit, it would.
26. Damrow? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It was in center then.
All right, they're saying Kyle Damrow, the center fielder, has moved to pitching. And Chase Hanselman was up when Ames was thrown out at second, so he'll lead off the inning. It's a fly ball out to right field, and Gussie makes the catch. Kyle Damrow on the mound. Harry's up. First pitch is the ball. Another pitch that looked pretty good. I'm not saying it was a strike, but it should not have been missed by the catcher.
Yeah. It's been a rough night back there for Damrow. Hey, we got a Damrow battery now.
All right. Reineman makes the easy pickup and throw to first. First time in the ball game that Sheboygan has gotten their first 2 hitters out.
Number 32, Jimmy Jurgensen.
Jimmy's up. Jimmy had the big double in the 2nd inning that drove home 2 runs.
Not only that, he had that hard hit ball on the right in the 1st inning as well.
Gussie came over, actually overran it, had to reach back and make the catch. But he didn't keep his hat on. Lost his hat.
You were saying that's the first time that they've had their first 2 outs. The first time they didn't get their leadoff runner on either. The first 3 innings.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Seems like Damrow has the advantage. Breaking pitch is just a little bit down.
I think if he comes back at him with the curveball here, it's going to be really tough for Jimmy to make great contact on it.
Kyle Damrow. Damrow is the one on the mound.
Jimmy doesn't look too comfortable up there in this at-bat so far. He's seen a couple curveballs and kind of turned his back.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy with the good eye takes that pitch in the dirt. And ball 4. Jimmy was down, no balls and 2 strikes, and was able to work the walk. I don't think Jimmy will be running.
No.
Jacob Neese is up.
Walk number 7 of the game now for Howard Grove pitching.
Last year, Jimmy had no stolen bases, and he appeared in 54 games. He was thrown out once, so he did try to steal.
Neese was also walked in the 2nd inning.
Jacob had a good rip at that pitch, but all you do is foul it straight back. Was your mom watching tonight, Lucas?
I would assume so.
Okay, I was just because she didn't have to text you or anything about the
No,
sound.
it's all good. It's all good.
Good. Breaking pitch stays up high, makes the count 2-2, I believe. What do you got?
I had 2-2.
2-2. Everybody thinks it's pretty easy to keep track of the balls and strikes until they have to do it. Bill Wagner not here tonight. He's got some other responsibilities. But he told me on the way out this would be the only game he'd have to miss this year.
Three pop-ups foul by Jacob now.
Jacob has good power. If you get it in his wheelhouse, he'll drive it out of here. Oh, Jimmy was safe. They caught him leaning for sure. I think a little stronger throw and they might have had him. Another pitch out of the strike zone.
Daniel just hasn't had that put away pitch. He's had 2 strikes, both.
You know, he's a little bit like Day. You know, he looked real good in the first inning. Well, Damrow looked good the first 2 hitters, and all of a sudden he's having trouble with the strike zone. Now you can run, Jimmy. And another walk.
8.
Eight walks in the ball game. Wow. You were right, Lucas. You must be keeping track.
Yeah. Mental.
What do you mean mental? I thought you were a
Mental
smart
note.
guy.
Mental note.
Cal Casper's up. Cal got a hustle double in the 4th. Good rip at that fastball. Came up empty.
They just get 4 runs here. They could have Schmitz come on for the save.
Yeah, I guess they could. Yeah, 3-inning save. You get credit for it. Doesn't matter what the score is. It's a line drive foul down the left field side. We got to remember, Lucas, when they come off the field, try and catch the number of that center fielder.
Yeah. Red arm sleeve. That's all we can see.
Earlier we talked about how we both like the uniforms for Howard's Grove, but I'll tell you at night those numbers are a little tough to read. Cal with a drive to deep left field down the line, racing over and making the fine catch was Jack Schrader. And that ends the Sheboygan 5th. But after 4 innings, after 4 complete, Sheboygan on top 6-0.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me spells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef, it's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot. Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, Tea Time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Back here at Wildwood Park, Eric Schmitz is out to pitch the 5th. Ty Wytek is in at catcher. He'll be that'll be the battery, Schmitz and Wytek. And we have several other changes. Alex Ames moving from left field to second base. In for Hanselman is Sims. Kyle Damrow is going to lead it off. Jason Sims. Ball is hit foul. May have caught the Mr. Reineman, the coach. Count is 1-1. You know, you talk about not giving up many walks. That's Schmitty. He's a very good control pitcher, making his first appearance for Sheboygan this season.
At game 3, doesn't really ever pitch the same kind of innings that Ryan Flesch or Recklitis pitch, but still gets his time in.
Kyle Damrow goes down swing. That's going to bring up the catcher, Drew Damrow. First pitch is a breaking pitch, in for a strike. Just totaling up Jared Recklitis' line score for him. Recklitis goes 4 innings, gives up 2 hits, no runs, had 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. Great performance by him. Schmitty's 1-2 pitch is outside.
If this was an exhibition game, he'd probably still be out there, you'd have to think. He'd probably be going a complete game.
I believe you're right, Lucas. Another strikeout.
CJ, did you want this too? For the new order?
Number 7, Jack Schrader.
Last year, Schmitty pitched in 7 games, all of them starts, had 2 complete games, and a record of 4-1 and an ERA of 3.00. That's a down year for him.
He's looked good so far, though. He's got the 2 strikeouts, and he's got no 2 count right now.
Swing and a miss. Wytek's throw to first is in time. Strikeout with a 2-3 putout attached. And Howard's Grove goes 1-2-3 in the 5th. When we come back, it'll be Riley Palmquist leading it off.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
I mentioned when we went into the break that Riley Palmquist was going to lead it off, but it's going to be Sawyer Kolakowski. Sawyer saw action as a pitcher and as a shortstop in that doubleheader Saturday. He was 0 for 2 as a hitter and did a good job on the mound. He did give up a couple hits, but no walks.
And he played a strong shortstop too, made a couple nice plays deep in the hole. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Riley Palmquist in his 2 at-bats, he walked and scored and singled with an RBI. So, an abbreviated appearance, he had a nice night, 1 for 1 with a walk.
Wide-tech. Yep.
Couple of quick strikes by Damro. Sawyer pops one up in the short center field, and Reineman goes out there and makes the grab. And I think this
brings up number 29, Ty Whitek.
Ty Whitek. We had mentioned Whitek was 1 for 1 in his A's career.
Yeah, that double that went right under the glove of the right fielder, hustled into second base.
Check that. It's not Whitek. Nick Tenney is up. I think Whitek is going to be batting in Casper's spot. Right down the line. And Tenney slides on the grass and lost his footing.
I don't think that was a purposeful slide there.
Pulls up with a single. Could have easily been a double, but Tenney with a hit.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The grass is still wet from yesterday.
Yeah, right. Gus Walker up. Kiesler. Line drive into right. That's down for a hit. Tenney stays on his feet this time and goes to third. Subs are having a day.
Yeah. Come in and then 2 singles back to back from Tenney, and that's, I don't know.
That was Calvin Kiesler on the base hit.
Ames, one of the few guys still in the game from the start.
He, according to what Tim gave us, he is not playing in left field anymore. He's going to be at second base. We'll have to see what happens when they go out there. He pops it up on the infield. Kane calling and making a grab. That's going to bring up Jason Sims. Sims is in for Chase Hanselman. So Chase's night is done. He was 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored and picked up an RBI with that walk. Runner's still on the corner, but now there's 2 outs. Carter Kelly waiting on deck. He's in for Harry. Ball is hit the deep center field. And making the fine catch out there was not Damero. It's a substitute for him. Sorry about that, River Dogs. We didn't get that change. We'll try to pick up who that kid was and give him a shout out.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract, brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow, raised by generations willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
Jake Heim is up for Howard's Grove. Only getting his second plate appearance, and we're in the 6th inning. Sheboygan's pitching staff has been very efficient. Jared Recolaitis and Eric Schmidt's first ball swinging. Hits it out in the left field. And Tenney makes the grab out there. Cooper Damero is up. Cooper is the leadoff hitter. 0 for 1 with a walk. Also, credit for a stolen base after that walk.
Yeah, that was the one that kind of got away from Casper. Looked like he might have had a chance at him, but he kind of popped out of his glove on the transfer.
Right. Ball's hit foul, right back against the screen. We're in the top of the 6th. It's been all Sheboygan. They lead it 6-0. Line score is Howard's Grove, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Sheboygan, 6 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. And a swing and a miss. Wytech again has to throw down.
4 strikeouts and 2 2-3 putouts already for Schmitz in just 1 2/3 innings. All swinging.
Yeah.
Trey Sixel, the pinch hitter now for the Howard's Grove River Dogs. Basketball player in his time at Howard's Grove. Played him 2 times.
Oh, yeah? Was he any good?
He started, but stats didn't really.
He was feeding the other guys.
I was the scout team Trey Sixel when we'd practice.
All right.
So if that tells you anything.
Did I tell you about the one game basketball game we broadcast at North? They totally blew out the other team.
South?
No, it wasn't South. Don't get me in trouble, Lucas. So anyway, at the end of the game, instead of interviewing, a couple of the main starter type guys, played a lot, he sent out all 6 of the last 6 players, and we interviewed each one of those guys. And all their other teammates are behind Chris and myself, cheering them on and everything. There's a strikeout, that ends the inning. We'll finish the story when we come back.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
So, that question sounds familiar. So we finished the game. We're interviewing the last 6 players and get a little chat in with each guy. It was really nice. All their teammates are waiting for the interviews to get done. And then it was like a mosh pit. Chris and I finished all 12, 13 guys all crowding together, cheering each other on. It was really a great scene. A lot of good sportsmanship.
Yeah, it's awesome. They had a good team this year. They went
They had
sectional
a very
semifinal.
nice team, yeah. They were very entertaining.
We fell to a really good team in De Pere.
Yeah, that one kid, Kinzinger, I think his name is, just
going to Madison.
signed up for Madison, right?
Carter Callies.
Carter Callies is going to lead it off for Sheboygan in the 6th. Hopefully this will be their last at bat. We mentioned it's been all Sheboygan tonight.
Just like our A's Hall of Famer question of the day, he went to lacrosse.
Yeah, smart guy. So Lucas, I think we mentioned Saturday that you're going to Marquette.
Yes, yes.
You are.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, not him.
No, no.
You looked at me like I did. Or maybe you didn't, but anyway.
I thought you meant I was going to Marquette on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. So when you looked at schools to go to, what were some others that you kept in mind?
There was a few of them that I was thinking about going maybe to run in college, like a couple D3s, like Wisconsin Lutheran or Concordia Chicago, but otherwise it was
a line of study that you wanted to get into?
Not really. That's kind of why I stayed away from them, but Marquette was always the number one option, that's for sure.
Okay. Schmitty falls behind. It's now pardon me, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wasn't paying attention.
Callie's his first at bat of the year for the A's as well.
Yeah, and Howard has a new pitcher up there. It isn't Demro anymore.
Oh, guy, come on.
They keep slipping these guys in when we're not looking.
Teens, something in the teens. Him or him?
Zach Som?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to, maybe when he goes back to the mound. We can catch a number. It looks like
18.
Yeah, I think it is 13.
18 or 13.
We'll go with Zach Som.
Yeah, why not?
Callie sitting with a 1-2 count. Pops it up. Reineman going out. He's not going to get it. The left fielder has to charge in and can't get there. It drops in for a base hit. And it's going to go as a double for Carter Callie.
Looked like a lot of trouble reading it out there in second, left, excuse me. Never looked like he really was confident he was going to get there.
And, you know, that goes to a point I should make, and that is in their league, they play all their games on Saturday or Sunday. Most of them are on Sunday during the day. So they rarely play night games, which might be one of the reasons for that hit dropping in.
And another thing with you saying that, they might not have all their guys that they would have on the weekends, on the weekdays.
Exactly. It's another thing Denny would say too. You know, you may have a really good team, but it's about who shows up. There's a line drive out to center field, but making the catch out there was Sixel. Now, Hudson Wagner coming in.
Not mistaken, I think he started game 1 of the doubleheader.
I
think so.
I thought it was game 2.
Could have
been. It was game 2 because I remember seeing Jacob
yeah.
after the game.
That's right,
and he had to leave.
You know, I know Jimmy's only, 1 for 3 today, but he's had 3 really hard hit balls.
Yes. He's, you know, you got to take that. You know, he's might thinking, oh, I'm not hitting the ball good enough, but, you know, you're really spanking it really good, hitting it hard. Ball hit the left field. Throw is, try to cut it off, but don't, and it's going to allow Wagner to advance to second base on an error. And that's the first error of the game. That should be Culver's error. So give Wagner an RBI. Good hustle by Callies to score. Now Ty Whitek is up. Now the nice thing about that run rule, Lucas, if we get 10 this half inning, the game is over.
Done. 2-run jack, go back to back, then have Kowalkowski at 1. 10 right there.
Swing and a miss. There's a ball hit hard out to left field. Left fielder's not going to get that one. It's going to be a double and an RBI. Boy, Whitek really hit that ball hard.
Another tough time reading the ball out there in left field. And not saying he was ever going to get there, but he took a step in, kind of threw his timing off, and to give himself a chance, really.
Yeah, you're right there. So 2 doubles and a single. All 3 of those hits were really hit hard, and Sheboygan has a couple more runs. It's 8-0.
And the walk-off game-winning run at the plate.
Yeah, game-running run at the plate. Sawyer Kolakowski up. Sawyer popped to short his last time.
You're saying back in the second inning, the A's had 5 runs on just 1 hit. Now they got 9 hits. They've only added 3 more runs.
Right. And you know, it's substitutes have piled on a lot of those hits. Ball is hit out to deep left. And it's a center fielder who comes over and makes the play. Schrader looked a little shaky out there, like he's not seeing the ball well.
I don't think that's Schrader anymore.
Could be
Looks
right.
like a different player out there.
Nick Tenney is up. Nick singled what should have been probably a double, but he slipped rounding first. He gets credit for a single. Psalms pitches in there for a strike. So we're pretty sure, not positive. A little tapper out to the mound. Throw to first is in time. Good scoop by the first sacker. And that ends the Sheboygan 6th. They come up with 2 more runs. And as we head to the last inning, it's Sheboygan on top, 8-0.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 2, the Joker.
Then her dad walked in. Dude, we're done eating. Use a napkin. You serious? Yeah. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. Why so serious?
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Sean, a winner in the 50-50, $91. Is that what you said, CJ? Yeah. Sean, a happy camper. He won at least 2 or 3 times last year.
Like
but look at him walk back to a seat. He's got 1,000 tickets.
It was like 2 or 3 in a row, too. It wasn't just 2 throughout the year. It was
Yeah,
like
right.
I think it was a doubleheader, and he won back-to-back or something.
All right. Eric Reinemann's going to lead off. He's had quite a night against this strong Sheboygan pitching staff. Recklaitis and Schmitz, he's 2 for 2. Schmitty barrels in a strike on that first pitch. A good fastball. Schmitty couldn't, Reinemann not able to catch up with that pitch.
Between Recklaitis and Schmitz, they force a lot of swing and miss and a lot of uncomfortable at-bats.
Oh, for sure. Ball is popped up in foul territory. Witek thought he had a play on it, but it carries out of play.
Something you don't see very often from a catcher, taking off the mask and then taking off their goggles, too.
So in 2 innings of work by Eric Schmitz, he's got 5 strikeouts. He's been dominating.
No
Struck
base
out the
runners.
side in the 5th. I'm sorry.
Third, 2-3 put out, too.
You know, don't see that very often.
No.
To see that 3 times in a game.
Much less 2 and a third innings.
Derek Sheeler is up. Derek has had a tough night, 0 for 2.
You were talking earlier about how amazing that the Howard's Grove offense had been, the 25 runs in 2 innings, and just 2 hits tonight between the A's pitching staff.
Right. They can't wait to get back into league play. Pitch is right on the knees for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schmitty working fast. Just caught him as he was walking in as I was heading out, and we agreed the goal is an hour and a half or less. I think we're going to make that.
No.
No?
No, we're already at an hour 50 right now.
It's got to be, it's not our fault.
It's that darn bottom of the 2nd inning.
Yeah, right. Too many walks. Feels like a pretty fast game, though. Oh, that pitch looked pretty good. Must have been just a bit outside. Makes the count 3-2.
He didn't want to give him his first strikeout look, and he struck him all out swinging so far.
Right. And that ball's a little bit low. That's going to bring up Cooper Gussie. Only the 2nd walk of the game for Howard's Grove.
Quite the opposite on the other end.
I don't know if I went through Reclitus's line. 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts.
Schmitty's outdone him in the strikeout department already.
Right. Yeah, interesting. Cooper Gussie swings and misses. Schmitty is not allowed to hit. Swing and a miss. The way that East Shore League works, by the way, Lucas, is they play it by halves. So you have, I think they have 8 teams. So you win the first half, then you play the second half. And if there are 2 different teams, then you have a playoff at the end. If that makes sense. You get the first half champs and the second half.
Okay, I got it.
But if you can win both halves, then no playoffs, and you're the league champs. So getting a 2-0 start in league play is huge. Short left field, but good break on the ball by Tenney, and he makes the catch. So
yeah, first ball they really had a chance to make a play on since Schmitz has been in all the subs.
Exactly. Luke Oppenheimer comes in to pinch hit for Kyle Damero. We'll just call him Oppie. How's that? Luke Oppenheimer wears number 30.
That hit him.
Ball goes off the bat. They're saying it was a fair ball, and they throw him out, and that is a fair ball, and that's the ball game. Good play by Sheboygan. Way to be heads up on that. Sheboygan a winner by a score of 8-0. That runs their record, Lucas, to 3-0. The next home game is going to be Saturday, May 31st, when they play the Chicago Warriors in a doubleheader that starts at 1 o'clock. What are your impressions of tonight's game?
You know, the pitching staff obviously was the star of the show, only allowing 2 hits through the 7th inning. Schmitz and Reclitus are fantastic. The A's offense has scored 8 runs, but 5 of them came in that 1 second inning with the 6 walks. But subs came in, a lot more hits started coming in. They end up with 9 hits. Really great overall win.
Pretty good showing by Howard's Grove. They played hard. You know, we had mentioned they got a league game coming up on Sunday, so they're saving their best pitchers for that. And that, And then when you're playing a team as tough as Sheboygan, that makes it even rougher. But good luck to them as they continue their season. Sheboygan, like I mentioned, goes to 3-0. For Lucas, I'm Mike saying thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.